Howdy folks, this is Big Sam. What does a snowman and a Mosin Nagant barrel band have in common? I'll give you a hint. They're both Christmas ornaments. Now, this may look like a rather normal and unsuspecting barrel band. And here we have our Izhevsk factory marking right here. Pretty standard stuff. But maybe I can help convince you that this is, in fact, a Christmas ornament. You see, all I have to do is add some string, and now my normal Mosin Nagant barrel band has become a Christmas ornament. We can use this same kind of concept to our previous video. Now, if you saw that, basically the premise of that video is we took a Mosin Nagant parts kit that was in a fire, and we tried to see if we could salvage any of the parts. And while a lot of it we probably wouldn't put on a rifle, this gives me an interesting idea. Now here are some of the parts from that parts kit. In particular, this rear sight assembly, as well as that rear cocking piece. And we can still see remnants of the serial number on it. Now this looks pretty horrible, but for those of us that really like old, rusty, gun-related parts and items, and the smell of cosmoline and sulfur in the morning, I think we might be able to put this on our Christmas tree. You see, all it takes is a little bit of string and a little bit of imagination, and I can take some rusty junk and turn it into some fabulous and ornate Christmas ornaments. Now this is perfect for the sort of person that wants to torment his wife this Christmas by making their Christmas tree smell like rust, tetanus, and cosmoline. Now, normally this might have just gotten thrown out or scrapped altogether, but if you put this on a Christmas tree, people are going to think you're cool. Because who has this? And we have our original rear sight assembly, and the cross pin normally went through that hole, but I have put some string through it, and now I can put this on my tree. And people can see this wonderful early, original, very scarce Mosin Nagant rear sight made by the Tula factory in 1901. And while this doesn't look totally amazing on its own, on a Christmas tree, this is really going to stand out. So this is pretty interesting, and I think this gives us a really funny way to salvage some parts that we otherwise may not have been able to salvage. Who knows? Maybe something like this will end up on your tree this Christmas. But if your wife gets mad, please don't tell her that I told you to do this. Now, most of you, at least hopefully most of you, won't have some rusty Mosin Nagant parts that were from a fire. But if you do, you can do this. But let's take a look now at some other Mosin Nagant parts that we can potentially make Christmas ornaments out of. For starters, here's this. This is a Finnish Mosin Nagant front sling swivel. Now this is great because if you have a rifle with one of these, you can just unscrew this screw here and it'll come right off the gun. You just loop some string through this and hang it on your Christmas tree. Really simple. And when Christmas is over, you just put it back on your rifle. Or you can just leave it in your Christmas ornament box till next year comes around. Another interesting thing is this. This is actually a sear right here. This is also the trigger spring, because Mosins are very simple and very ingenious. It's both the trigger, it's a flat spring, and this is the sear right here. So it's one piece, pretty cool. But you can loop some string through this hole, and you got yourself a fabulous Christmas ornament. And this one's cool because it's got a factory marking on it somewhere. Right there. There's our Izhevsk factory logo, made after 1928. That's pretty cool. Now, if you want to get a little bit bigger, maybe you have a really big, ginormous Christmas tree. Because you got to keep up with the Joneses, which is totally a noble thing to do. You can take a Mosin Nagant butt plate, loop some string through here, and hang that on your Christmas tree. Let everyone see that cool serial number with the Cyrillic prefix on it. So if you got a big tree, that might be another option. Another thing you can do is take an escutcheon like this. This goes on the side of the stalk, and the sling and loop through here. You can take some string and loop it through one of these holes, and you got yourself a pretty cool Christmas ornament. Very minimalistic. You can have a lot of these. Now maybe you're like me and you've got a weird barrel laying around. Well, you can just cut it down to nothing, loop a string through it, put it on your Christmas tree. Now this guy is sort of, well, heavy to say the least. So you got to have a really big Christmas tree for this. You might need a real Christmas tree. One of the ones you get at Walmart this may break that. This will be the barrel that broke the camel's back. So be mindful of that, but this would look pretty cool on your Christmas tree. So hopefully that gives you all some interesting ideas of some things you can do. Another cool thing is you can take this. This is actually a Finnish M27 rear sight. What they did was they took the original Konovalov rear sight and they added these wangs here to the side to prevent a sideways wobble. And then they also added this extra aperture here at the back. So you could loop some string through here, whatever you want to do. That would look pretty cool on your Christmas tree this year. I mean, if you could put all this junk on your Christmas tree, I would like to see a picture of it. If you do decide to put anything like this on your Christmas tree, please send me an email with some pictures because I'd love to see it. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas this Christmas season. And hopefully this helps you think outside the box a little bit on some interesting things you could do with Mosin Nagant or maybe other random gun parts laying around your house. Whoever said gun parts don't belong on Christmas trees was clearly wrong, and probably a politician. And as Obi-Wan Kenobi famously said, never trust a politician. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know if y'all have any prayer requests, and I'll see you next time.